Maybe one. All right. I think we're good. Good week, gentlemen.
It's been quite a week. So much has happened in the world once again.
Every week.
Every week. It's just like that.
The world doesn't stop going around.
I know. I should go back and read some news from the 60s and 70s. It'd be fun to aggregate all that stuff and somehow feed it out like it's a regular, news stream. That must exist somewhere, but it would be great to get in my feeds,
Like headlines from around the world every day.
Nixon did what? We're teetering on the brink of civil war.
Is that humanity's greatest story? Is the aggregation of all of our headlines? It's like that is what we are. We are made up of headlines.
It's depressing. Just a mimetic propagation device. We're not the entity. The meme is the mighty meme. We're just agents of the meme.
Yeah.
Memes way of creating more memes. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Not bad. Not bad. I haven't really even looked at crypto stuff and game stuff this week. I don't know what is crypto booming, is busting. I don't even know anymore.
So Bitcoin in general, because that's what everything follows, is it's been pretty flat for probably, I don't know, almost a month now.
I was just thinking that it's been a surprising. I'm looking back at that.
So on the 17th, 6/17, it hit its low of like 17,000. And since then, it's just been on I wouldn't say flat because it's been slowly creeping back up because now we're at 24.1. So in general, we're up slowly over the past 2 months, but it's about the same. It's obviously not on fire. So everything else is not on fire. Nothing really explodes until Bitcoin does. Sometimes, but not often.
Yeah, it's been on a series of kind of lulls between. Yeah, like you said, June 17th and today, and then there was another kind of little plateau between kind of May 12th to early June. And I'm looking at it again from, kind of January 23rd to April 30th. It's been an odd series, a little just leveling down. Almost back down to the level where I divested myself of all of my Bitcoin and became a no coiner.
A no coiner. How dare you?
I know. I think so. No coiner, somebody who owns no crypto at all, or somebody who just owns no Bitcoin.
No coiner would be somebody who owns no coins. I would. That's what I would define it as.
No coin. You can't prove you're a no coiner. It's I'm a no coiner. I swear I'm a no coiner.
And you probably have some dust in your wallets.
I don't know. I had custodial wallets. I think they're all.
There was this is a couple of years ago, but there was a guy I remember in one of the chats. He basically divested all of his Litecoin and Bitcoin, and I think he had Dash, something like that. It's one of the older ones. And he got rid of it all, or he thought he did. Yeah. He saw his wallet keys and all that stuff, and he knew that there was like basically from transactional dust that was in there. So like 0.00 something, right? And he started back when Bitcoin was like under $100, right? So he had 0.01 of from when it was $100, which meant it was worth very little. But when it hit 60,000, his dust was worth like thousands of dollars. So pretty cool. And he came back and he's like, man, I just found my wallet keys and was curious what that was worth and went in there and was blown away.
The dust, the very valuable residue.
It was worth like pennies. Now it's worth a month. Especially like some of the the Dash, because it had grown so much.
Yeah.
A lot of those small projects have ridiculous percentage increases, but then they just tank twice as hard as Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Doge is a perfect example, right? Like it was 0.000001 penny per Doge. Like 7 cents a piece. So that's wild.
Thanks to Mr. Elon Musk, right?
Yep.
we watched 13 Lives last night, which is it's a Ron Howard dramatization of the Thai cave rescue.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept waiting for Elon Musk to I was wondering who's going to play Elon Musk.
Defame the guy or whatever.
Yeah, so I guess the guy who got defamed was portrayed very briefly. The beginning of the movie, he comes out, he's like, "Oh, I made a map of the cave," and he hands it to the guys, and then kind of runs off. And so if you watch the movie, that was the guy that Elon Musk defamed, and who later sued. He hands it to the guy. Prevailed.
Awesome.
But yeah, I guess the Musk give it and take it away. I need to link that back to crypto somehow, but I can't. Sorry, you got me off on the Elon Musk tangent. I feel like the last because I really enjoy reading crypto critics and crypto skeptics, and I like looking at Molly White's Web3 is going just great feed, which I recommend to everybody. And it's also been a lull. There haven't been any great hilarious new the new frontier of crypto angst hasn't really opened up. So I don't know if people are just going to they've said everything. We've heard everything we need to hear. Said everything we need to say. I feel like it was a lot of it was said back in 2017, but there was a new wave of like, oh, they're gonna put crypto in games, and it's gonna be great. And a lot of angst over that. So, but it's been a while since there's been a new threat from crypto that has upset enough people. There's been anything interesting or novel that I've seen in the past month or so. That's kind of tracked the lull in the market in a way. So I guess maybe it's an indication of boredom.
Yeah, probably. That's probably true.
Yeah, so much of the Molly White the Web3 stuff is just like another thing got hacked. Yeah, some other folks rug pulled.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen Bitcoin obituaries, right?
Let me Google that.
99 Bitcoin obituaries. It tells you how many times Bitcoin has officially died. As of today, it's died 461 times.
Bitcoin's dead.
Long live Bitcoin.
The most recent death is on July 3rd, when an article was posted saying Bitcoin is an unraveling Ponzi scheme.
Maybe there needs to be maybe it's generational at this point. Maybe there needs to be a 10-year amnesia gap for people to. I don't know. Yeah, what's the next frontier of crypto boosterism and crypto skepticism?
I'm just looking through Molly White's stream here, and I don't really. What is move to earn? I've never heard of this game mechanic, move to earn, or model. Is that like?
I'm going to assume it's some kind of location based. So you have to move, and then you get cryptocurrency.
You just
I assume it's just as stupid as it sounds.
Yeah.
Assume it's exactly what you think it is, and
you just have to walk around.
Do I need an Oculus and some motion sensor controllers?
Yeah, or a vintage Google Glass, headset.
Vintage.
I mean, you can't believe it. You're right. Move to earn, apps that pay you crypto for exercising. What the? I never heard of this stuff.
All these people are going to start exercising and devalue exercising. It's inflationary exercise. It pisses me off. I used to be able to do 20 minutes a day, And now I got to do 4 hours with all these freaking kids doing move to earn, pumping all this crypto into the economy.
Gonna happen. Wait till you're in the metaverse. Now you have to sell some property because kids.
That's the thing that's so dead on arrival. It hasn't even prompted skepticism. I think everybody like Neil Stevenson and William Gibson were like, yeah, we've covered all this for decades. It just wasn't even worth, like, nobody's even like, hey, don't you remember the book about, there's a bit of that at the beginning, and then you're like, yeah, who cares? Meta's advertising. I'm very old, so I still use Facebook like a geezer, because that's how I keep in touch with my even more elderly friends. And there are a lot of ads for the metaverse on Meta's Facebook, and they're all just so baffling. And nobody talks about this. Nobody cares about this. I don't know anybody who's into it. And it's such a dead on arrival kind of thing. Yet they're just wall-to-wall ads about it, you know?
I don't know. Have you seen Decentraland? Like Decentraland and Mana blew up.
Define blow up.
Well, I'm looking at the coin, I guess.
Yeah, all the cool kids are on Decentral. I just got I just do a party at this. No, what did blow? Define blow up. Explain this blow up idea
so
to me.
There were a lot of. I hate talking on things I haven't been recent on, but there were a lot of larger corporations actually buying land in Decentraland as for marketing and building experiences in Decentraland, basically like gamified experiences. And the Decentraland token, back when Bitcoin was, doing its run, it was one of the top performing tokens in all crypto space. And I think it had a lot to do with a lot of those bigger companies and a lot of crypto companies, right, selling off their Bitcoin at $60,000 or some of it, to fund purchasing land in Decentraland. But the Decentraland blocks, or whatever they're calling them, the land spots, I mean, they got to a point where, again, it's an NFT, and I know there's a lot of skepticism in how those values came up with, but there were a lot of auctions and straight up purchases by, like I said, large companies that were, a piece of the smallest possible piece of land was like $3,000. And companies, like legit companies like Pepsi and Red Bull, were buying this stuff to be able to have land in the metaverse, whatever, in Decentraland for experiences. And that stuff's still there. I mean,
I'll tell you, not a day goes by where I don't visit the Million Pixel webpage, and I know a lot of friends who are really into the Million Pixel webpage.
Yeah, but you can't really. That's kind of comparing apples to oranges, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, because that's not an experience, right? Like that's just putting
man, drop some acid, put on some classic rock, go to the Million Pixel webpage. You told me that's not an experience.
So did you see the or heard of the concerts that they run in Fortnite?
I have.
I've heard of the concept.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Have you experienced one?
No.
They're pretty cool.
I've heard they are a thing.
If you're a gamer, it is a wild experience. It is a very cool experience. And I think that this is akin to that, or someday it will be, right? Like some large corporation Red Bull will put on some really cool event in the Decentraland or whatever platform is the chosen platform, and people will go there, go there, and they'll enjoy a concert by Travis Scott or whoever the hot artist of the day is. And it's going to promote Red Bull, just like they do all the other stuff where they put, let's do wingsuit, let's jump from the stratosphere, like whatever. Those are still valid things. You can't say that that's the same as the Million Pixel webpage, right?
I do wonder about the scope of that stuff. And I'm hey, if nerds want to put on headsets and go look at concerts in VR, awesome. I'm all for that. It's just the I guess the Facebook meta scale bet, because to me that seems like a cool but niche, even if 1 million people show up or 500,000 people show up. Still seems fairly niche as a major societal systemic media kind of opportunity. I guess the way Facebook compared to the hundreds of millions and the real societal good and bad changes, bad and good changes that these new social media formats bring. It seems like pretty small and niche. And that's where it's going. I think Meta's advertising a whole lot to me. I'm never gonna, but I don't care who's performing. I'm not gonna put on a headset
But you don't have to put on a headset, right?
I'm not even gonna click the thing. Like, why would I even? And again, I'm not saying that it's not cool and that people aren't doing it. They clearly are. But the hype that we experienced and Facebook rebranding the Meta seemed out of scale to the ultimate reality.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised how much time people spend virtually, not in headsets, but just in the computer or on their Xbox or PlayStation, playing games. Like, I think that is quickly becoming one of the largest consumable medias we have.
Oh, no disagreement.
I mean there's people that play more games than ever watch, ever watch shows or movies, right? They put 40 hours a week into gaming versus 40 hours a week into surfing the web or watching shows.
Kind of obviates the need, man. Where are they going to find time for the multiverse? They're so busy gaming and streaming.
Well, that's what they're gaming in the multiverse. That would be the thing.
Yeah, but I can game now and not be in the multiverse and have an amazing time.
That's true. That's true.
I think the multiverse.
But if there's a live event happening, so imagine if you were, back in the day, if you played World of Warcraft and somebody did some awesome live event of some artist that you loved, you would log into World of Warcraft and go watch it. You of course you would.
Yeah, I still don't need a metaverse for that.
Well,
I just want to go to that event. I don't necessarily need a persistent. I'm not going to wake up and go get my coffee in the metaverse and sit on a bench in the metaverse and read my newspaper in the metaverse and eventually meet my friends and then go to a concert in the metaverse. I mean, I might, but I could do all those other things not in the metaverse.
So if you think short term, if you look at it the way it is now, that I can understand that. But if you think real long term, which may be totally irrelevant to us because we'll all be dead, but 100 years from now, you very much will.
Yeah.
I am very skeptical of that claim.
If you're talking to your son or daughter on Moonbase 2, you have to meet in the metaverse, I guess.
Yeah.
Or Mars, Mars colony.
You already do that. So this may be a sad statement, but most of my friends and even Gina's friends are people that we've never met.
Oh.
I'll be honest. Like we play almost not every day, but multiple days a week. We play games online on Xbox, and it's how we hang out. We hang out and we're all chatting and we know each other very well. And we've never met these people. There's probably 5 or 6 at least.
How did you manage to do that without a metaverse?
Well, I'm not arguing. My point is that the metaverse will allow you to transcend a specific game, right? Or a specific platform potentially, right?
Yeah, but you can't. That's not a problem that you can anyway. You already can. You've never not been able to do that.
That's true. I think it'll just, again, if you get to a point, maybe the metaverse will not be as centralized as it's presenting itself now. Metaverse will just be able to, well, it's got to be ran somewhere, I guess. I'm just like Scott said, if your son's on another planet and you want to hang out or go meet somewhere, you're not just going to you could FaceTime them, but like, if it's almost as real to plug yourself in, subconsciously be able to do this thing, or like it's like a dream and you're able to meet them because technology's gotten that far and Elon Musk's neural mesh is connecting you, then you're in the metaverse.
Well, you're not. You're in again. If it's like, oh man, and maybe that's it. Maybe Facebook's bet is limited to simply you can chat in VR. Isn't that neat? Which is cool. It's like, yeah, okay, I want to meet you in Facebook VR today for a minute. Maybe this chat would be more fun in VR. I don't know. I'd certainly look more interesting. But the high concept that's being sold is a metaverse controlled by one corporation running on one single technology stack. whether or not that stack is decentralized. And it's like, still don't see it or buy it. Because to me, that's the hype now. It's like, no, this isn't just VR. It's not just, look, there's a VR chat you can use. It's hyper realistic. It's like, no, there will be a metaverse, and everybody's going to be running in that same MMO. We're going to create one MMO. Okay, everybody, forget all the MMOs you've ever played. Or make one new MMO. We're going to call that MMO the metaverse. That's going to be all the MMOs.
I don't think that's what they're presenting.
Isn't that
maybe Meta is? Maybe Meta, the company at Facebook, is, but I don't think that's what most people that are actually involved see that as.
Because when I hear the metaverse, I mean, I think of the dystopian sci-fi, the virtual reality that we all commonly share, and there's only one that has got to be totalitarian.
No.
And everything has to be underneath the one metaverse. Otherwise, it's not really a metaverse. It's just a verse.
Well, it's like the internet, right? Like we all go on the internet, but the internet's not a single place, right?
Well, yeah, and it wasn't like, well, thank you, Facebook, for inventing the internet.
Well, and I think that you can say the metaverse is the same as that, right? It's not going to be a single platform. It's going to be many platforms.
I don't think that's at all how it's being pitched.
Well, maybe not by Meta. Facebook,
and that's what I'm talking about. There's a hype cycle starting about, I don't know, a year or so ago.
I would agree with that.
Where it was like, hey, we're inventing the metaverse, and it wasn't like a metaverse or metaverse enabling technologies. It was like, no, this is going to be the metaverse, and
that's why we have Decentraland, and that's why we have those other platforms that are decentralized that are trying to create the same thing Meta is trying to create, but not under a single corporation.
I guess that's their bet, pretty cynically. I guess they're here we are talking about it because of the law claim. They know they're not going to do it.
Decentraland is the highest valued metaverse on the market with a current market capitalization of over $4.6 billion.
Bah, market caps.
Yeah, a trading volume of 398 million. Probably a lot of wash trades, but
we need to, before we finally hang Volition CCG on the rack, I need to sell one vol to somebody for $1 just so I can say I'm a billionaire.
Billion.
Did it wrong, guys. We're going to hang it up before we got a market cap.
Like I said, they do have people interacting, though. They do have people building on the platform. Let's see. Some of the most popular experiences are Golfcraft, which is a putt-putt golf. There is a pool hall.
Nerdville and Losertown.
With on average 47 people at the time of writing this article. Article's in March. Players can idle in the arcade and receive points every 15 minutes. Once a player has enough points, they can claim NFTs that can be also purchased on OpenSea.
God damn it.
Players also receive a unique beta tester NFT for playing 10 games of pool. If you're an NFT collector and are looking for an easy way to add some NFTs, check out 8 meta balls.
8 meta balls.
8 meta balls. And then the Genesis Plaza had on average 50 people. The Wondermine crafting game has an average of 274 people.
Blowing up.
Yeah, that's blowing up.
The
number one is Ice Poker with 1,200 people.
Of course. Yeah, if there's only a way to play poker otherwise. No, I'm with Patrick I'm somewhat, with Patrick. It's like, do what you want to do. I just don't see the market size, like that, a life-changing number of people wanting to do this instead of the other existing ways to do exactly.
But couldn't you say the same thing about World of Warcraft when it first started? To be like, yeah, that's a cool game, but it's not nobody's gonna live there, and then people literally live there. Their children die because they live there.
But my parents aren't on World of Warcraft. Like, they're on Facebook now. You know what I mean?
Your parents are too old.
I want to back up because where I was going. Let me pop the stack a bit.
Yeah.
There's been a lull in crypto criticism because I think maybe everything, all the claims have been made and all the rebuttals have been made, and I think people are getting bored. And then there was a dearth of, no, the metaverse is stupid. There's the dearth of meta criticism. Because I think that's all been discussed back in the 90s and 80s and 70s. So my point was less about the metaverse and more about on my radar of skepticism and hype. But there's a little bit of hype from one company Not a whole bunch of rebuttals of that because I think people they're pre-fatigued or they're already like, yeah, this exact conversation we just had. Everybody's we've been had many times. So I'm amused that we of course had the conversation, but yeah, I haven't. Sure. Where I'm going, I haven't seen out in the the feedosphere, the feediverse. There's no metaverse is going just great. Blog to debunk everybody's like, yeah, I don't know, nerds will watch concerts in the VR. Who cares? Next.
Yeah, I wonder if, but I do wonder if the sort of like marrying of the crypto space or the NFT space in the metaverse concept is sort of like, it's decentralized. It's just like, well, I mean, I don't know if they're into the metaverse bit of it or they're just into the crypto speculation bit of it. And I don't think it's both, to be honest. I think
probably the latter.
Yeah, it's probably the latter. Yeah, they just want to play poker like that. I'm down with that. Go play poker in the metaverse. Like, if you just want to gamble, you just want to get NFTs that might be worth money in the future.
It's also the boredom of the amount of resources. The companies that could viably bring us some metaverse are big companies. It's going to take a lot of money, and so it's tiresome, but a lot less scammy in the way that the crypto is.
Yeah,
the metaverse hasn't been a uniquely enabling technology for financial scams and schemes and investment hooey. So maybe that's also why there hasn't been as much hair rending. It's been more of a bored eye roll than a oh my god, money is being laundered. People being scammed.
Well, I wonder. I guess can I legally sell meta drugs in the metaverse? Can I sell meta meth?
I think you can go sell meta drugs, and I think there was I want to say there was a book written about that back in the day. I forget the name of that book, but something about some virtual reality drug. Can't remember. It's all vague. Very precious and jokey book. All the characters had goofy, self-aware names. Tiresome. Yeah, I've never finished that book. I've never been able to make it more than a third into that book. I've read his phone book size frickin' I read the whole Baroque Cycle. Cryptonomicon, maybe one of my favorites. I've freaking read Zodiac. I read his early stuff. I cannot for the life of me make it through Snow Crash. I just can't.
Hero protagonist.
I need to start folding the page because I've tried a couple times on that. Invariably, at some point, I just get to somewhere and I just can't read it anymore, and I need to start logging that, notching the bookshelf or something.
It's like
page 130.
Yeah, so you need to put it on your door jamb, just like the height of the book that you reached.
Keep a log of read page 92 today.
Start a blog about your experience reading the book.
Trying to read it. Yeah, you can blog about every page. Somebody must have already done that with some other book.
Sure they have.
Page by page. Oh my god, Volition stuff. I am definitely in a lull. I'm waiting for anybody in the community to say, hey, you should do a thing. And I've been really enjoying not doing a thing for like most of the year now. I had a big push at the beginning with GamerCert and got that to a closed beta point. Can't be buggered to do anything, the node consensus, and that's what I need. Probably next, the things that are on my mind are fleshing out the permissions, switching over to a new, more optimized signature format, and then positioning the node for better hackability through, we use coded into basic transactions and mirror those pretty carefully in the wallet. And those are generic things like sending resources, blah, blah, blah. You can script the node. You can script your protocol through Lua using crafting methods. But there's not a first-class way to script ad hoc transactions and expose those to the wallet. So having some kind of schema that augments the set of transactions per project. So all that's kind of on my vague to-do list. definitely been on a holding pattern. At some point, we will, and stop me if I'm wrong. Until somebody comes and says, "Hey, I want to be a community manager for the CCG." We've been talking to our friend Carlos about stuff like that. At some point we will pivot away. I'll erase all mention of the CCG from the main repo for the node, and we'll have to decide if we want to leave this current Discord for the CCG or just pivot it to Volition Ledger. Because I think we intimated last time we're at the point of turning the corner and being like, yeah, well, you could certainly make a CCG on this ledger. And we made a sample one, and some folks minded us over there, but now we're just focusing on being a ledger, for better or worse. Stop me if I'm wrong. Stop me if that's incorrect.
No, that sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it last time. For some people appeared and mined the beta, and they did that at their own expense. If you are watching and care and did that and feel annoyed now that you spent that time, DM me, and we have a pretty good idea of what the issues were to run a node, and I'd love happy to make you whole if you feel disappointed that there wasn't a massive investment following on your mining.
Does that include me? Can I DM you about reimbursement on my node?
You can. I think we paid for your node, and I think I personally administered it.
You did personally administer it, but you did not pay for it.
Man, $35 a month is yours, Ken. I'll write you a check for however many months we ran that node for $35.
I'll give you so much vol for that, for running that node.
I'll sit down and send you all the ball. What else? Should I change the beta terms of service to remove the prohibition on sale? We talked about that before. Should I? I don't care.
Then I have to shut off my node. I don't know. I think we need people. I mean, we need people on GamerCert. We need people to sign up on GamerCert. Like, I know it's kind of related, but we need to push on that.
I don't know. I'm skeptical that we need. I'm sure that we need anything. My life is full of happiness and abundance, so I don't personally need. I don't need anyone to do anything.
I guess we would like, right?
I don't even know I'd like that, because then I have to go and run that. I have to run that frickin' GamerCert is like, if there were 5 weirdos who just wanted to prove it out, that's one thing. But the moment that there's a credible project that actually brings people to that on any scale, then I have to go and run that business. We have to, scale it up. So I mean, if a VC appeared tomorrow in a cloud of black smoke and said, "Here's $5 million to start GamerCert," I'd be like, Jesus. Here we go.
I don't know, Patrick. What do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I want to focus on the ledger myself. I'm going to get back to it soon. I am looking for. I do have some folks sniffing around for kind of consulting work. I think I was 10 years early 5 years ago. So I think proof of identity is going to be the future in 3 to 5 years. To the extent crypto exists at all, I think it's all going to be proof of identity. And we've had that discussion, and I'm always happy to rehab that. I think that whether or not Volition, Volition is the world's first fully, let's think how to put this. All the components are there. I've proven it out. It exists in the world now. There is now proof of identity on planet Earth in decentralized context. To be the proof of identity chain would require a lot of hype and potential funding. So it's never going to be the kind of thing that's just going to organically blow up. From the GamerCert perspective, I think once the idea of having an online identity and anonymized online identity becomes normalized, whoever does that, whether or not it's my conceptual implementation of it, is going to be a fairly important player. But to get there, it's going to require a whole lot of work. So in a way, I kind of prove it out there. So yeah, here's a model for a proof of identity consensus ledger. here's a way a service could work. There'll be a privacy preserving proof of identity. By the way, all the stuff that our friends in crypto are talking about, the Polygon ID and all that stuff, doesn't solve the actual issuance of identity, right?
Right.
They're all like, we can use, once you have an identity, we can use ZK snarks to something on the blockchain. And it's like, okay, well, where would such an identity come from? We can use ZK snarks to, so I, in a way, this is the intellectual, curiosity combined with ambivalence. 15 years or however long ago I did the spoils was intellectual curiosity combined with naivete and a whole bunch of willingness to work and put my own money in. We spent 2 or 3 years fundraising for Tenacious Games. And, I flew to Singapore and lived there for a year and a half with no pay to put together an art studio and make the scene because I had a lot of, again, naivete and passion. But this project's a lot more like here. Yeah, okay, well, we proved it out. So that's all I'm going to say. I personally will be I got to get the ledger over the next hump, which is generalizing it for any project. I have some inklings of consulting engagements on that. The ledger plus a company or plus a project or plus a funder can be a contender, right? There's some people out there with very deep pockets who are looking at the future and saying, yeah, maybe I should position myself and make that proof of identity bet.
Sure.
So I happen to be the world's foremost authority on on proof of identity blockchains. Since I think I invented that. So I'm going to focus on that. There may be a couple little projects along the way that are just to raise awareness. But again, that's very much like, do we want to go there? If we do get attention, then we have to have, once we go down that path, and it's not like Volition CCG, which is, hey guys, remember the spoils? We're doing something weird. Show up. It'll be a hoot. Do what thou wilt. Do what thou willst. If you want to help. I think once we go out with any of these other projects, particularly GamerCert, I have to have a whole kind of corporate infrastructure backing there. So long story short, the community card game we started. Hey community, it's yours. Have fun. Let us know if we can help. Yeah, I'm going to do so for the ledger. So if you showed up for the crypto and you're interested in proof of identity and ledger stuff, great. I don't think that's at all. I think we got a bit of the overlap between not being inferior to crypto and being interested in the spoils and CCGs in particular. I don't think there's a lot of crypto people in our community because it's not crypto, right? To date, it's not crypto. And even once we're at scale, were we to be at scale, because it's proof of identity, I think the usual suspects, don't have a lot to scam right now.
Right.
There will be. I'm not saying there won't be scams. There will be scams. It just won't be perpetrated by me.
Missing out on the bucks.
I know. Big pat on the back for not taking any money. I sleep like a baby. My conscience is clear.
Okay. Well,
if I had taken money, then this would be the part where I smoke bomb. And it was like, man, Volition CCG was just a rug pull. That guy was right. What was the guy who kept accusing you of trying to do a rug pull, Ken, years ago?
I don't even remember his name right now. I mean, I know who he is.
I love that knucklehead.
His name right now.
It's just gonna be a rug pull.
He had some sort of weed reference in his name, I think.
Yeah, he was a weed guy. He was working on some weed crypto thing.
He has his own Discord that he tried to blow up that did not. I think it more imploded than anything.
Ours is just kind of slowly going.
Yeah.
More slowly. It's not imploding.
Deflating.
Just kind of slowly deflating.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. It's a good thing. It's good. This is good for crypto.
Take my weed money.
Take my weed money. We didn't take his weed money. I didn't take any money from that guy.
He
I He was like, "You should take my weed money. You're just trying to do a rug pull. Right now, we don't need your weed money."
Yeah, people will do people things.
They're so peoply. Peoply people.
I love this white cheddar popcorn, by the way.
What brand of popcorn is that?
It's obviously, because I need to stay smart. It's smart food.
Do you feel yourself getting smarter with each successive kernel?
No, but I like to pretend. I also drink smart water.
Oh man, that's my problem. This is my dumb coffee I've been drinking all day.
Got some smart water right here.
I think they're false advertising because Anyway. Okay, cool. Well, we've had a lot of great interaction from our community, and we'll have to continue next week with that.
Yeah.
Are we? Is it time to say goodbye?
It's been 40 minutes and 1 minute, 41 minutes.
Should we change? Do we keep the half-hour goal, or should we change to an hour format? Should we keep this time? Because our theory had been that our friends in Europe would be more likely to show up, but that theory has not turned out to be accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the time, but yeah, it's unfortunate that the European friends have not been able to join us as often.
Hey, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah. No, I'm fine. I like the 30-minute, rough time.
I feel like I'm just getting my head of steam up for rambling. I feel like
it's true. Yeah,
like it's
really
about an hour-long cadence of proper bloviation.
Stuff, you got little bellows over there just pumping away, and
it takes a lot of work.
Yeah,
there's a whole like you got to work up to it, and then there's the thing, and then you got to have a descending action. You got to be a winding down. It's got to be the 3 act. I feel like we're just. I feel like that was Act 2. We haven't. I've laid out but we haven't had the climactic. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
What is that? Is there? So I've been talking to. Okay, so 2 more. So I've had some. And again, I wish we could. It's one of those things. A lot goes on. I've had conversations with. People you've heard of, and it's one of those deals where it takes a long time. I think this is the nature of business, where it's like, that looks interesting. They're playing a very high level game. There's strategy and tactics, and they're busy. So you don't really hear definitively, a yes or a no. And I've literally had. So I had an introduction through a former founder, CEO, very successful, credible guy. I'd reach out because he had been in gaming, and I reconnected. He made an intro to the head of the investment group for one of the major projects you've heard of. And so I sent him my thing right away. And this was like, hey, you should talk to Patrick about identity and game research. So I immediately sent him like a 5-pager on, very brief deck, just kind of here's the concept. And like weeks and weeks went by, like 3 weeks went by. And I didn't hear anything. So I sent him again. I said, hey, just kicking the can, no big deal. But I think there's something here. We can be part of your ecosystem that you guys are building. There's this dotted line, there's this empty space, there's a box where this can go. And, we're not going to be the only one. But even if there's no investment, which I don't really care about, that we can be a part of your world. I can fast track the issuance of the W3C, compliant, whatever, if there's a story. And so again, like 2 more weeks go by. That's radio silence, right? And I'm like, man, I really must have just effed it up. Maybe it's just all too goofy. Maybe I should have played it a little straighter with the branding, Maybe I used one too many adverb in my deck, but sure enough, suddenly I get an email back saying, I've been traveling, but let's set up a time. Let's meet. We should talk. And so he CCs his assistant, and it's like, this person, meet this person. They'll help you find a time. And so I go, oh, great, yeah, here are the times I'm available, and I can meet you early in the morning if you're traveling internationally. I'm a night owl. I'll be up at 4 a.m. or whatever. I'm just like, anytime. Like I'll meet you guys whenever you want. No rush. And so that was like 2 weeks ago. Radio silence. So that has been this year. Like imagine like a dozen of those.
Maybe the assistant is now traveling.
My assistant is also traveling. We are running from the law. The King of Saudi Arabia declared cryptocurrencies punishable by death, and we are fleeing the country. But as soon as we are established in our new country, we'll reach out again. No, I don't know. Yeah. This is why any venture needs a CEO, because that's the game, right? And I can only imagine past CEOs dealing with the constant ambiguity. Mm-hmm. It really is. It's a slow motion fishing metaphor. And being a project guy and a dev, it's like I can see, right? Like, yeah, that's the skill set, being able to do that patiently and just do it a whole bunch. Mm-hmm. And this is why people need big sales, contact databases, because if you're really doing this at scale, I can easily imagine somebody pinging back like, okay, well, I read your thing, let's meet. It's like, wait, who are you again? Oh yeah, we were talking 3 months ago because you have a community that needs identity. Okay, all right. Yeah, there's also a chicken and egg thing around adoption of the stuff where you need an investment and backing just as a signifier. Like I met with several major online communities that really need gamer cert, and it would exactly solve their challenge. Yeah. With all due respect to, we hope most of our users aren't bots. Please don't expose that. But for the ones that aren't bots and care, which they all should, this is the perfect thing. We met and had coffee. I've been to the office. I've gotten the tour, but we're at a point where it's like, okay, well, as soon as you raise $20 million, not to do anything particular with it, but just to have it. And I ran into that with Moai with my game engine years ago. We got a lot of early adopters like Jordan Weisman and Tim Schafer, who made really cool games with Moai. But we got to a very clear point where to get the next level of adoption, they were like, okay, well, particularly for the cloud product, they're like, hey, this is great. Go out and raise the $20 million. And again, there's no feature ask there. Right? It's not like, well,
the 20 million is the feature.
That is. Just make sure you have that, and then we can totally adopt and use your thing.
That makes sense. They're investing in the the lifetime of this technology. Maybe they don't want it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to make sure you're real.
Yeah.
And that you have a staff, and that if you get hit by a bus, it's not going to fold, and that you're not some guy sitting in a grimy bookline study in Seattle.
Yeah.
With a bunch of creepy shit on his wall.
So you're saying we need to raise 40 million?
Basically saying we need to raise 40 million. We need to do a one of those ICO.
How much gold do you have? We could be there real easily.
I know, man. We definitely have the market cap. So say if I simply sell one vol to one person for $1, then we'll raise all the money. We can go out and take a loan against that market cap. That's all we need to do.
Just need to sell one vol. That's gonna
be hard. Get on the exchanges with that kind of valuation.
I know. I need to look a bit more at the vol for ERC20. The problem with that is atomic swaps give us an easy vol to any other crypto in a truly decentralized way. I do not believe that these smart contracts can sign with a private key. So there has to be an intermediary. If it's a vol for ERC20 token, there has to be some trusted intermediary that signs that and can monitor both chains, unlike an atomic swap. I need to dig in a bit. We'll see if if Coda wants to join us next time. But he's very versant in smart contracts. He's just been super busy. But there could be a vol for ERC20.
Yeah,
which would arguably not a $1, not a dollar. But we could make a tenuous case for market cap.
Well, I definitely think we should try to get Coda on here.
Yes, I will. Like I say, he's got a bunch of stuff going on. If he's able to join us, he can talk about. He's been working on a decentralized game project that really is crypto first, not card game first, like what we were doing. His is all crypto. And I know he and his team have been working on for that for at least a year. I think maybe a bit longer.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like they've almost been doing it as long as we have. Honestly, maybe not quite, but close.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see if you can join us soon. So we're good with the time. We're going to keep this time.
I think so.
Yeah, keep it for now, unless one person could change that. If one member said, "Let's have it at a different time," they'd have the 100% of the vote. So.
Yeah, if they need
as good as any.
They need a different time to get on with us. Yeah, we'll change it.
Somebody should just perversely keep Charlie Browning us. Like, I'll totally join you guys next week if only you would do it at 3:45. And if I were in the community, I would totally perversely suggest a series of awkward times and then not show up. Our community is so what's left, and at the beginning, you put the passphrase for the wallet for the tutorial, and we were wondering when will somebody steal the vol, and nobody did.
No one did.
Still there.
Nobody
I mean,
did.
as far as I know, it's still there.
Have we checked?
Not in a while, but
I think people showed up. They clearly did the tutorial. They onboarded, and that vol just kept hanging out in that wallet.
not one person's like, "Let me check this private key that they just showed me."
Not one person was like, "I'm a jerk. I'm going to do the trite and obvious thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to troll these guys in the tritest way possible."
Hey, maybe that was how they won the blockchain.
That's how they won the blockchain. Maybe
Nobody won yet.
Maybe it's a meta troll. I'm going to surprise everybody by not stealing this free vol and this this wallet. That'll be the most ironic thing I could do.
And nobody will know.
Nobody will know. That makes the irony all the sweeter. So it's like a work of art.
Yeah, we have a nice community. It's just they're too nice. They're too nice.
Guys are too nice. We need to pump it up and get a bunch of crypto sharks.
Yeah.
We need to chum the waters.
Yeah.
But then we'll have a very annoying.
It's yeah. It was already getting pretty bad on the off topic.
Yeah, some of the off topic was a little rough.
Man, I said one guy I remember sailed in and started dumping a bunch of anti-trans stuff and shut that down pretty quick. But I feel blessed. Maybe you guys are doing moderation out ahead of what I see because again, not a lot of really awful stuff.
Nothing too great. Overall, it's been pretty
mild.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're at 54 minutes now.
Oh man!
Now it just seems like a waste to end 6 minutes early. It's gonna get us out to an hour by hook or by crook. Can't end at 54 minutes.
It's just, that was apropos nothing really, but I was watching the old SNL skit where with Will Ferrell and David Allen Greer and another cast member, I can't remember, but they're in the news studio and the the teleprompter breaks, and it just like increasingly gets crazier and crazier because at the end it's like they're just like resorting to cannibalism. I feel like that's where we'll end up here.
I love that.
Metaverse cannibal.
I love that. The little stream of resource that just keeps society together.
Yeah.
And that breaks down and cannibalism.
Yeah, exactly.
There's real commentary there.
Yeah.
Humans are perfectly great as long as there's a little teleprompter running.
Mm-hmm.
We all have a little teleprompter in our minds, but that thing goes haywire. Cannibalism.
Watch out.
Watch out. Watch out. I saw the most charming thing, I want to say yesterday or the day before. I was going around, and I guess I missed the clip before, but just speaking to the universality of human experience and cultural experience. And I have no idea how I did not know this, because this has been a thing that's been true for like decades, apparently, according to the article attached to this clip. But Fiddler on the Roof. Huge in Japan. Huge in Japan. There's a clip going around of the guy who played Tevye like 900 times. Like, very famous actor, like made a career. And the article attached to it was talking about how when they were putting the show together, the writer for the show went over to Japan, and they were like, "You're like, you made this show for America?" And he was like, "Yeah, this was meant. We premiered this." And they're like, "But do they understand it?" And he was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And maybe this is apocryphal. This is an article. There's an interview about this. And I go, "What do you mean?" They was like, "Yeah. Well, it's just so Japanese." And he's like, "What do you mean by that?" He's like, "Well, just the themes of tradition and the father and daughter dynamic and all of that stuff just really, really speaks to our experience, right? Our generational experience and our cultural anxieties." And to me, I was like, man, that is like the big teleprompter,
Yeah.
of everybody, in different cultures being able to relate to these things. And so apart from just the charming, like, man, they really just delivered it, because they translated the whole thing to Japanese, and it sounds great. Like, when you hear him singing, it's like, oh man, this, you haven't really experienced Fiddler until you've heard it in the original Japanese. Like, they really, it really works. It's such a beautifully sung language with great big nice syllables or vowels to sing. And so just on top of it being a delightful, charming thing to watch, I thought that cultural, commonality was really fascinating.
Do you think the translation, they enhanced it along the way? Like like their interpretation of what we were saying, they just subconsciously made it more Japanese? I
think they probably found the themes that resonated culturally and attached those. I don't know if they actually changed the text. I know that because I watched the clip and I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then there's a link to the whole thing, like a televised. And I know that they adopted all the jokes. But as I recall from the show, the jokes are fairly, universally relatable jokes. So I don't know how much they localized the actual specifics. Clearly exactly the historical idiomatic presentation. The clip is from L'Chaim, and they have the Russians come in. It's all the same stuff you remember from the American version of the show. But yeah, I wish I knew more about it. I don't have time to learn about it. If I spoke Japanese, I'd love to. I'd geek out on comparing the adaptation of it.
Yeah,
that's where my mind went from your teleprompters and the universality of experience and societal. Thank God for the teleprompter.
Well, you almost got there. You have 30 seconds left. Damn it.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks all, none of you who are not watching.
It says we have 3, but I think 2 of them are me.
Yeah. Yeah, scared off. I'm kicking myself for scaring off Tamara.
She was the one. She had 30 friends that would have came along. That each
I
had 30
know.
friends.
I was an asshole.
You ruined it.
Yeah.
Jerk.
Jerk.
All right. Well, we made it.
Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
We'll do it again next week, same time. We'll meet in the same virtual space here.
Yes.
Our own personal metaverse.
Our own.
Hey, if you
microverse.
want to buy the virtual version of this room, Ken, I'll sell it to you. Just the virtual rights to this room, not the physical.
Nah.
I'll send you an NFT of this almost empty coffee pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Offer stands.
Sorry, not interested.
Throw on the gummy worm. We have a deal. All right. See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Yeah, he did the mic